Hello, everyone out there in the real world, out there in digital land, listening in on your headphones, your computers. I don't know what year you might be listening to. If you're listening to this in 2054, you could be listening through your eyeballs. I don't know. My name is Jordan. Trying to think of a cool name for my handle. I was thinking something along the lines of Spliced In Later. We'll see how that goes. I'm just trying out my new microphone at the moment. It was given to me by some very good friends of mine. For years I have been going on and on and on about trying to get on a microphone and doing something online. And I guess they just got sick of hearing me say I'm going to do something and then not do it. Tell you what, when four friends come together and buy a microphone and sign a card, waiting to hear your first recording, it sort of puts you on the ball to go ahead and just fucking do something. So here we go. Basically, what I'll be doing going forward after this initial test run is going about my usual likes. My usual likes being movies, TV shows, media, actors, gossip, anything like that. I'm one of those people that is obsessed with this stuff but doesn't know how it works. So this will be a learning curve for everybody here. I don't know how this microphone's even working. I had to download several instructions, and most of them left me scratching my head to the point where I have tried 4 times to get myself going. And instead of doing it, I instead watched 4 movies. So here we go. There won't be anything fancy. We'll see if I record myself on a video recorder going forward, but I'm an awkward man. I'm very aware of my actions, so it might be easier just to record my voice, because at the very least I'm not overthinking it too much, he said as he overthought that particular sentence 400 times. So let's do a quick one. I really want to talk at the moment, just to get things going, about The Fox and the Hound 2. Now you're probably thinking, what? Why bother? And that's a good point. There are 2 reasons for that. The first being The Fox and the Hound 2 is the most recent movie I have watched, so it is fresh in my mind. Eventually I'll start talking about movies that I've seen a while ago that are cherished in my mind. Of course, there'll be the usual suspects, the Star Wars, the Marvels, Titanic, SpongeBob SquarePants. There's going to be a few. It's going to be fun. But for the most part now, The Fox and the Hound 2 is fresh in my mind, so I can at least think of things that happened in the movie to talk about. And number 2 being, I went to check Fox and the Hound 2's Rotten Tomatoes score. Now, people are mostly familiar with Rotten Tomatoes. It's that site that tells you if a movie's good or not, if an audience thinks it's good or not, if the critics think it's good or not. It's a site that's handy, but you should not be following it advice based on your personal opinions. I know quite a few people that love a movie that Rotten Tomatoes says is shit, and I would hate to go to that person and tell him his opinion is shit. Because that's the world we sort of live in these days now. It's everybody has an opinion on something, and they have to voice their opinion, which I guess is what I'm doing now. But you can do it in a positive sense, and you can do it in a negative sense. If a friend of yours comes up to you and says, oh boy, I like Adam Sandler movies, and you don't like Adam Sandler movies, that's fine. People can have those differing opinions. You can tell him you don't like Adam Sandler movies. We should live in a world where you can say I don't like something. But there's a difference between saying, I don't like something, or I don't like something that's fact, and as a result of that fact, the fact that you like something means you're stupid for it. This doesn't happen all the time, and sometimes it's unintentional. I think a lot of people don't realize the words they're saying and how they're cutting through to people. But that's what I'm keeping in mind when I'm doing my little thoughts from a madman here. I never want anyone to think that something they like is shit. I'm never going to say something they like is shit. I'm going to say whether I think something is good or not. But I won't be hammering down that people need to feel ashamed for liking something like that. Anyway, I'm getting off track again. The Fox and the Hound 2 and Rotten Tomatoes. And essentially Disney direct-to-DVD in general. I heard a complaint about these movies that they're just cash grabs. And you know what? They are absolutely right. 120%. These movies are made just for money. They are normally made because a classic Disney one is being released on special edition, and they're just trying to get in on that little wave of nostalgia and glory that they're going about. But if we all know that, then you can't act surprised if you watch a movie like this and go, what? This seems like a cash grab. No joke, it is. And you knew that. And when you look at a movie like that based on those parameters, you cannot hold it to the same esteem as an Academy Award winning film like Titanic or The Dark Knight or 127 Hours, that sort of thing. I get it. These movies, they're not. Well, let's get straight into The Fox and the Hound 2. Let's give you a brief idea of what this movie's about. So The Fox and the Hound 2 is sort of a midquel to The Fox and the Hound. Again, I'll try really hard not to spoil movies while I'm here. It's always good to experience these movies without knowing anything going in. And in this day and age, especially with some movies with big twists, it's just really hard to do that. And I will not be that person that spoils it for you. He said with his fingers crossed, hoping that he doesn't spoil the crazy plot of The Fox and the Hound 2. But essentially, back to point. So it doesn't directly follow anything that happened in The Fox and the Hound. It is essentially a story that you have to believe took place during The Fox and the Hound. Basically, Todd, the fox, and Copper, the hound, are buddies, as they were. Copper is having a bit of a rough time. He's got a shit dad. He's always being told that he's no good, that he sucks at things. He makes a few mistakes, but we all do. Perhaps I'm making a mistake doing this. Haha. I'll just wipe away a tear and keep going. But a carnival comes to town with singing dogs, and they quite like Copper, and they invite him into their pack due to behind-the-scenes dramas. Copper enjoys hanging out with his little friends here, again, as you can see what's coming, at the expense of hanging out with Todd, who was the one person who encouraged him and gave him all the confidence to do what he was doing before. And basically the movie just lets you see how they come to terms with this new power dynamic. There's some songs and dances along the way. Movie's 62 minutes long. It is not long. It's not about to change any ground. It's not about to change the face of what was The Fox and the Hound. It's just there, so if parents are going out to buy The Fox and the Hound for their kids, or buying it for themselves out of nostalgia, they'll see another movie and go, sure, let's see that one too. Now, some of these movies are hits, some of them are not. Me personally, having watched The Fox and the Hound 2, I think it's fine. I don't think it's the best direct-to-DVD Disney that was ever made, but I also don't think it's the worst. Some of the best direct-to-Disneys that I'll just quickly name drop here that are probably worth checking out is definitely The Lion King 2, The Return of Jafar, and Aladdin sequel. I personally like The Little Mermaid 2. I hear there's some mixed results on that, but it's fun. There are others, such as The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, that aren't quite as good. They're a bit hard to watch. It's sort of like the magic is missing from those movies. The whole plot of the first film sometimes is turned on its head. Sometimes they do the plot again. Hunchback 2 is essentially the powers that be deciding that Quasimodo needs a girlfriend. So they give him one. He didn't need one. I think the whole point of The Hunchback of Notre Dame was not relying on your looks and that sort of thing to appreciate love. But hey, he seemed happy at the end of the movie. So that's nice. But again, these are movies that were made for fun. They're made for money. And they're made because they can. And you should know that going into this movie. And when these are movies in general. You cannot get on your high horse watching The Fox and the Hound 2 expecting it's a tour de force or a film extravaganza, because it's just not going to be. But you might know someone who enjoys the plot of The Fox and the Hound 2, you know? Maybe it was 62 minutes of their life which was enjoyable. Maybe they were having a rough day and that sort of positive, happy, good feeling was just something they needed. Maybe, it's not time to go out for dinner with your friends and you want to spend 60 minutes doing something. Fox and the Hound 2, there it is. But that's to be expected. That's what these theme films are here for. They're not here to win any Academy Awards. You cannot believe that you are dropping a knowledge bomb to tell someone that these movies aren't artistic masterpieces. Movies are escapism. They are for everyone, as long as you find the right genre. I hate horror films. I do not like watching horror films. I'm easily startled. A jump scare is likely to send me under the bed for the duration of the winter. But I don't think horror films are bad. I mean, yeah, they're bad to me. But if you get what I'm saying here, is that I don't have a problem with horror films being made. I don't have to see them, but I won't stop anyone else from seeing them. My personal opinions aren't what makes a movie good or bad. I have a friend who is getting sick and tired of the Marvel movies, and quite right too, he's allowed to be. The only issue with that one is their opinion of the Marvel movies, of their negative opinion, extrapolated to people who have a positive opinion for it. Their direct response is to tell that person they're stupid for still liking the Marvel movies. Which is not what we're here for. It's not that sort of world that we should be living in, where your personal biases affect the enjoyment of other people. So I guess I'm really not talking specifically about The Fox and the Hound 2, but I'll tell you what, I'll give you a recommendation for it. And that is, see it. Because why not? What are you going to lose from watching The Fox and the Hound 2? 60 minutes of your life? That's barely any time. Takes that long to cook dinner sometimes. And I would personally like just one other person I know to have watched The Fox and the Hound 2. It's not something I'm going to discuss till the cows come home, as you can probably tell from this recording, because I have deviated from The Fox and the Hound 2. I think in all these minutes of talking, I think I've talked about it properly for four minutes, if I'm lucky. But I don't know, maybe there's someone out there that really, really needs singing dogs, or that positive message of The Fox and the Hound 2, which is to be confident but also embrace your friends. So if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. I'm not about to be upset if anybody doesn't watch something if I've recommended it. I mean, in the world we live in, social media, if everyone got upset over how people treated them online, people would be gibbering messes. But I guess what I'm pushing here, and the general theme for most of my other recordings going forward, if I continue, is that the negativity in the film world needs to be restrained and thought out a bit more before casting opinions onto other people. You don't like something, fine. That doesn't make people who do like something stupid, or their opinions are less valid than yours. So I hope that message is coming across. I'm going to wrap up now. I have enjoyed trying out this microphone. I hope that it comes out alright, and maybe I'll put it online, maybe I won't. I probably will send it out to the friends who gave me this microphone, so they can give me the constructive criticism of, my god, you're boring. Put some jazz, put some wah into your recordings. Because boy oh boy, did I fall asleep. Maybe not, maybe they enjoyed it. Maybe they're popping in The Fox and the Hound 2 right now. We can only hope. But I'm going to thank them personally. Oliver, Stacey, Alec, and Joe. And also Adam. All the way down in a different state, but I appreciate the love all the same. I wouldn't be trying to do what I'm doing now if it wasn't for your encouragement. And for this actual physical microphone that's in my face. So thank you again. I've been Jordan. Spliced In Later. And next time, we'll be talking about 127 hours. So that's that. Adios, muchachos. And until next time. Goodbye.